Drew McIntyre says a former champion hasn't congratulated him on his second WWE title win. In an SK Wrestling exclusive, Peyton Royce shares her honest feelings about WWE splitting the IIconics, and see who advanced in the latest brackets in the men's and women's Dusty Rhodes Classic. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Drew McIntyre says a former champion hasn't congratulated him on his second WWE title win. Following this week's edition of NXT, Drew McIntyre took to Twitter to respond to a tweet posted by Stu Bennett, formerly known as Bad News Barrett, and stated that the former Nexus leader is yet to congratulate him on his second WWE title win. On tonight's edition of NXT, announcers Vic Joseph and Stu Bennett were discussing the upcoming Royal Rumble event and talked about the WWE title match between Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. Joseph proceeded to ask Bennett if he had congratulated Drew McIntyre on his second WWE title win, which took place on an episode of WWE Raw last year. Bennett responded by revealing that McIntyre didn't congratulate him on his second Intercontinental title win back in 2012. Soon after, a fan asked Drew McIntyre why he didn't congratulate Stu Bennett on his second Intercontinental title win. Bennett noticed the tweet and urged Drew McIntyre to answer the question. The WWE Champion responded to the tweet and stated that he had remembered writing a congratulatory note to Bennett with a feather quill. Drew McIntyre then added that he is yet to receive a congratulatory text from Bennett for his second WWE title win over Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre's first WWE title reign came to an end at Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, where Randy Orton defeated the Scottish Superstar to win the coveted belt inside the Hellish structure. Mere weeks later, McIntyre defeated Orton to win back the belt and kick off his second WWE title reign. McIntyre is currently one of the biggest superstars in the industry and is all set to take on the Hall of Famer Goldberg for the first time ever at the 2021 Royal Rumble event. As for McIntyre and Stu Bennett, they go way back and are good friends in real life. NXT Superstar teases a possible match with Seth Rollins. The Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins may have to keep his eye out for NXT Superstar Karrion Kross. Kross recently hinted at a possible face-off with Seth Rollins, stating that it's inevitable. Karrion Kross recently responded to a fan on Twitter who suggested WWE should book a match between Karrion Kross and Seth Rollins. Kross responded to the fan with a GIF. The fan suggested that a match between Karrion Kross and Seth Rollins is a dream match in the making, and WWE must make it happen. This caught the interest of Kross, who responded with a GIF that displayed his iconic catchphrase, TikTok. He would share the GIF with the world, inevitable, on the post. It would seem if Karrion Kross is suggesting that a match between Seth Rollins and himself is bound to happen at some time. However, taking into consideration the current landscape of WWE, fans would have to wait a while. Kross currently works in WWE's Black and Gold brand in NXT, and Rollins is on SmackDown. Add that into the fact that Seth Rollins is on paternity leave, which means this match is unlikely to happen anytime in the near future. Peyton Royce shares her honest feelings about WWE splitting the IIconics in this SK Wrestling exclusive. SK Wrestling's Rick Ucchino caught up with Peyton Royce for an exclusive interview ahead of the Royal Rumble. The former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion was asked about her reactions to the IIconics split. Peyton Royce revealed that she found out about WWE's plan to break up the IIconics the day of the show or the day before it happened. Royce spoke about how she grew up with Billie Kay and that the Australian duo shared the same dream and career trajectory. Royce admitted that she was still coming to grips with the fact that her on-screen partnership with Billie Kay met a sudden end. Here's what Peyton Royce had to say to Sportskeeda's own Rick Ucchino in this SK Wrestling exclusive.
When did you guys kind of find out that that split was coming, and how difficult was that to go through with?
I mean, it was right there in that moment. We found out what the stipulation was that day, maybe the day before. I don't have a very good memory. But it really was. Billie and I, we, more than just who we are as WWE superstars, we have grown up together. So for us to our whole dreams, our whole journeys have been together. So for that to just be torn apart and, like you said, so abruptly, I feel like I'm still digesting it, and I'm still trying to find my footing without her. She's absolutely thriving right now. She's an absolute genius, and I'm so happy for what she's doing on SmackDown Live. I don't know if I'll ever get over it. It was such a really tore my heart apart. And I'm still trying to put those pieces back together.
You can watch the full interview with Rick Ucchino and Peyton Royce on our Facebook watch page and our YouTube channel. Riddle wants Bobby Lashley in the fight pit. WWE Superstar Riddle and Bobby Lashley have been feuding over the United States Championship for months. The rivalry has seen Riddle face Lashley and the Hurt Business remaining members in an array of different matches. This week on Raw, Riddle emerged victorious when he ran the gauntlet against MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander. However, his celebrations were short-lived when the Almighty took him out with a savage hurt lock after the match. Now it seems as though the King of Bros has had enough and wants Lashley in NXT's fight pit for the United States Championship. He asked none other than his former boss Triple H for some help. The fight pit is a new concept in WWE which features a ropeless ring surrounded by unforgiving steel cage. The stipulation has only been used twice so far, with Riddle taking on Timothy Thatcher in a fierce match for the first time. Riddle would lose that fight to Thatcher in his final NXT match. Lashley used this to defeat a clapback at Riddle's fight pit suggestion. Riddle and Lashley are no strangers to fighting in the cage. Both fighters have experience in the octagon. Riddle had 5 years in the UFC, while Lashley has fought in MMA promotions such as Strikeforce and Bellator as recently as last year. Riddle is yet to win a WWE Gold in the main roster, and he seemingly has his sight out for the US title. However, the Destroyer stands between the original Bro and his first championship. MSK among teams to advance in the Dusty Classic Tag Team Tournament on NXT. Another week has passed and NXT provided another great series of tag team matches. In their second match on the Black and Gold brand, MSK defeated the duo of Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Also, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez and the Grizzled Young Veterans advanced in their respective Dusty Classic Tag Team Tournament. MSK opened up this week's NXT against the game duo of Dane and Maverick. Both teams had control of action on various points, but in the end, the newest face of NXT punched their ticket into the semifinals up to the Dusty Cup. They will face the winners of the matchup between the Legado del Fantasma and Lucha House Party. Also in men's action, the Dusty Classic, the Grizzled Young Veterans defeated the duo of Kushida and Leon Ruff to advance to the semifinals. They will face the winners of next week's matchup between Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. In the women's Dusty Cup, Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai took care of business against Jessie Kamea and Aaliyah. The underdogs had a few moments of control, but in the end, the partnership of Kai and Big Mommy was too much to overcome. The victors will face NXT underdogs Team Ninja of Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter in the semifinals. The finals of the Women's Dusty Cup will take place at TakeOver at February 14th. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart will take on Zoe Stark and Marina Shafir next. The winner of that pairing will face Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell in one of the semifinal clashes. For the men, in a salivating showdown between the Undisputed Era and the unlikely pairing of Ciampa and Thatcher is on the horizon. The winner of that clash will face the Grizzled Young Veterans. The eventual winners of the men's Dusty Cup will get a shot at the NXT Tag Team Champions, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories, follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.